I will bury myself in a garden I made myself. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Pig Mouth Willie Bass Podcast. I'm Ryan Willis.
I'm brother Matt, brother. Woogity, woogity, woogity.
For the second consecutive week, Matt, we are going to be joined by a guest, but only this time they will be joining us for the very first time.
Yes, that's right. Without further ado, we'll introduce. I was getting out that quick, but no, we'll.
I was like, oh, geez, I better get him ready here.
But no, tonight's show is going to be a good one because we'll be having Andrew Abraham, who I've known for a long time, and I have not seen him in a long time, so it'll be nice to catch up with him.
Yeah, it's been at least a couple of years now. It's been a long time, so definitely
not since Big Bear 2019.
That's right. That's right. So Andrew is a guy that I have known since the 10th grade. So it's been 16 years approximately since I've known this man. A good man, a good man. So we're going to be bringing him on here in a minute. And I just wanted to remind everyone out there, like always, to follow us on social media. Instagram at Big Mouth Willie Bass. That's at Big Mouth Willie Bass. Matt, you okay over there? And Twitter at Big Mouth Willie.
No. I mean, I would prefer subscribers on YouTube over social media followers, but hey, that's all good as well because we are trying to build this thing up as I try to reiterate every show.
Well,
and
you didn't let me finish. Smash that subscribe button. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom!
We're at 50, and remember, if we get up to 100, when we get up to 100, I should say, Matt will finally join us on social media.
That's probably why yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask, what platform will you join once we get to 100 subscribers? Will you join Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Bookface, Snapface? What are you going to do?
There's so many nowadays I can't even keep track, but I think I'll leave that up to the viewers. What do the viewers want me to have? Comment down below.
Well, once we get to 100 subs, we should have made it more like 60 or 75. I feel like 100 is a bit of a stretch, at least for right now, but we're getting there. We're getting there, slowly but surely.
We're halfway there, living on a prayer.
Yeah, that's right. So everybody out there is probably wondering, what are we talking to Andrew about tonight? Well, Andrew is an expert gardener. So we're hoping that he's going to be able to offer some inside help here for all of us out there that have ever thought about doing some gardening ourselves. We're hoping to get some key details, some advice from Andrew tonight on how to have your garden just flourish. Because he's got a green thumb, 2 green thumbs. So Matt, without any further interruptions, I say we bring him on. What do you say? Oh, you can't see him?
No, I'm not seeing or hearing anything.
I can see him. Andrew, can you hear or see us? Oh, hang on. It says he's connecting to his audio. Okay, can you hear us now?
Yes.
Oh, there he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we all see each other now and hear each other?
Yeah, I see him and hear him.
All right. Not sure what was going on there. It was probably my internet connection again.
I think I had a moment. I'm like, oh wait, it's been a little while since I used Zoom over the phone. That's probably what it was.
Oh, user error.
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, no worries, man. Well, how you doing? It's good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you guys too. Thanks for having me on. This is awesome.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. Just been plugging away with work and stuff. Just plugging away and chilling out at home. Nothing super crazy. Been hanging out with the family a lot and plants, the family, and a lot of TV and video games.
Oh, sounds like the life. You bachelor, you.
Yeah.
Well, hey, speaking of plants, that's going to be kind of the main topic of discussion tonight, is your garden. So first and foremost, how is your garden doing as we sit here today?
It's good. It's in the beginning phase. So I got the seedlings that I got some seedlings started back in February, and then it's been about 2 months um, of just kind of sitting under fluorescent lights, and these lights are like right on top of the seedlings for a while there, and then
Wow.
yeah, they grow up. The light stays on top of them, so you keep a little tracker thing just to stay right above them the whole time, and then
Is that to
uh,
help them keep them warm?
that's more just because they need, like, as babies they need more sunlight than when they get bigger, and by providing a light source, you're pretty much giving them it's artificial sunlight, but it's light nonetheless, and they're able to use that for photosynthesis and for other stuff that they do. So it
Mm.
starts with that, and then after a while, as they get big enough, you decide, oh, okay, well, the weather outside is improving, and
Oh,
now
the
it's
weather outside is
time.
improving.
Yeah, yes, there's a heat wave. This is my island in the sun. Uh, and You put them outside when the temperatures are like probably above the 50s, and we're well in the mid 50s, probably higher, and that's where we are right now in Oceanside. So um, they're doing fine right now. They're about a foot, maybe foot and a half tall each, and
Okay.
I've got them in these grow bags. It's kind of like it's pretty much a pot, but I think it's like made of burlap and something else, but it's porous, so liquid is able to come through a lot of different parts. It's just a little bit of a different way of growing versus putting them in a container. Those in the pots are dragon fruits. So I started them out last year, like back in September. I bought some physical plants, excuse me, and they ended up they took off. They withheld, or they held on through the winter, which wasn't horrible, here. Um, and I actually noticed some hail marks on them from where the hail hit them, but they held through that.
Oh dear.
Yep, yep. And they made it, and now they're like really exploding with their growth. They're putting on shoots in all these different directions. One of them is anyway, like at all of the different layers, and then the different levels. And then the other one is it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go up. Here we go, like going up and over, and we're just gonna go from there with it. So
They grow up so damn fast.
yes,
Like chutes and
so
ladders, man.
yes, yes.
You must be a proud papa.
I I am. I am. I never thought of it that way, but yes, I am.
Man, just
You
to
know,
watch them grow up like that. So sorry if you mentioned it. I may have missed it. What all are you growing right now? What kind of
right now
fruits or
it's
vegetables are you growing, or just plants in general?
so right now the two in the pots are dragon fruits. And then in the grow bags that I have, I've got tomatoes and tomatillos. So um, probably around July, I'll be able to pick the tomatillos and start making salsa with them. So that'll be really
Oh yes, have to,
yep.
the must.
Yes, yes. And then I'll have some cherry tomatoes to have to snack on, and to make salad and stuff out of um, in the middle of the summer. So that'll be really good. And then not pictured there were there's a couple of watermelon plants. They're going to be itty bitty ones. The kinds you can abscond with in a small grocery bag in the grocery store. So
Oh, okay.
those they'll be mini, but they'll work out because they're a smaller plant. Because a lot of watermelons will grow. The plants will grow to like 6 to 8 feet, but these are able to stick to a 3 foot thing. That's kind of the similar thing too, like with pumpkins and stuff. So like if you ever go by Bates, I don't know if you can see it at Bates Nut Farm. But if you're ever on the 5, heading north from Carlsbad or past Carlsbad, and you look over to the right, you'll see that Carlsbad pumpkin patch, and it's just overgrown with green stuff. Essentially, you can
Oh
see
man, I was having some PTSD when you mentioned Base Nut Farm, Andrew, because as
Really?
you may remember, that's where my wife and I used to live, right across the street from there.
Oh, that's right.
And every
Yeah.
October, there would just be a mile long of cars going both
Oh,
directions trying to get in and out of that damn place. And it would take an extra hour usually for us just to get home.
oh no, that is the worst.
Oh, that was
Them damn
so
pumpkins.
much fun. Everybody just wanted to go see the damn pumpkin patch they've been to for the last 20 years. Nothing's
Yep.
It's a
changed.
tradition.
It must.
Yeah, they're not even trying to. It's not even construction that's going on. It's just yeah, it's just hey, everybody's here to check out some pumpkins, and then not only that, but you have all the other construction that's going on around Valley Center and just down the hill in Escondido. So
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
it's everywhere. You can't
yeah,
get away from it.
yeah. Well, they're busy. They're busy widening the roads. I
even out
hear.
here.
Yeah. In is that right in Arkansas? They're widening the roads out
Yeah.
there. Nice.
Even out in
Nice.
Arkansas, can you believe that? What a kick in the ass.
They're not widening the roads, but they're doing something apparently. I mean, they're wasting our tax dollars, it seems like.
Yeah.
They're doing
Yeah.
something, but I have no idea what.
Uh-huh.
Well,
I hear
Andrew,
that.
back to the gardening though. For
Uh-huh.
anybody out there watching this right now that's like, you know what? I want to plant my own garden this year. Is now a good time to do so?
Yeah. Yeah. I think now you could definitely get away with it. You could still get away with it. I mean, especially if you're here in San Diego, or in the Southern California area, because we have a long growing season. We have, I mean, for spring, well, spring will be over in a couple of months here, but we have I think until September, if memory serves me correctly, like just kind of how I kind of note weather patterns around here. Yeah, we have until September, potentially into the middle of October to grow a lot of warm season stuff. So if you can get your stuff in the ground, I'd say because most stuff will take anywhere from 60 to 120 days, so 2 to 4 months. It's if you start on May 1, June, July, August, September, yeah, you can have something by middle of September to the end, in the beginning of October. And you can start some stuff indoors that would actually give you a head start as well. That would just speed up the process and that's what I did. I started stuff indoors, and that was because, especially in January and February, the temperatures are too cold to really support tender little seedlings. And then the other thing with that too is you need a nice warm soil temperature to get the seedlings to germinate quickly. And with temperatures the way they are right now, the soil may not be as warm as it could be probably in the later months of the year. So having a little heat mat or somewhere where the seedlings, at least before they sprout, having that soil medium really get warm will help them kick off. And then once they sprout, you can probably put them out into a garden bed, or you can you can keep them under the lights for probably a month, because we're still, maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months, because we're still in the we're still in the phase between you guys know how it goes. It's like they would say April showers, May gray, June gloom, and those kind of still persist. So the temperatures are cooler, but yeah, you could definitely get away with it, and you could do it either if you wanted to start some stuff on a heat mat, or if you just wanted to put them directly out in the garden, you could do that too.
So what would you recommend someone starting off with as far as planting wise that would be easy, low maintenance for any rookies, beginners out there?
Um, I think everything requires a little bit of maintenance, but I think tomatoes are easy, definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
Plus a lot of them just pop out of the ground.
yeah, that's true.
Out of nowhere.
You don't even have
Yeah,
to
right.
plant those sometimes if you're in a good enough
Yeah.
area, I suppose.
Yeah, surprisingly, they'll just, birds will track them in, or yeah, usually birds will track them in, or somebody is just, it's probably all the cars on the side of the road that are getting pegged with tomatoes by people who, by people harassing all the drivers on the road.
It's probably from when I used to house sit at our grandparents' house and
Oh, is
used
that
to
right?
throw a
Yeah.
bunch of fruits and vegetables off the bank there.
Oh, that could do it. That could do it too. Yeah. I was
Who
kind of wondering
knows? Who knows? And Andrew, you have
what,
a very nice, what would you call it, a flower bed at your place. So you built it, what, a couple years ago, I think. How did
yeah.
that all start? Did you just find something on a website to kind of get an idea of what you were looking for there? Like, what would you recommend for anybody that's like, oh, I kind of want to build a flower bed? Like, how would they go about starting that process?
There you can definitely consult. There's plenty of YouTube stuff out there. But I think the how I learned about it is I followed a particular gardening podcast, and the guy was very detailed in his podcast about how to build these things, and then there was another guy who was just doing YouTube videos of literally like, okay, so here's your wooden planks, here's your deck screws, here's your 4x4 pieces. Just screw these in like this, screw that in like that, and then you do your corner, you get your diagonal set first, and just technical like that, but it was
How
easy enough.
educational.
Yes, very educational. Um, but there's a couple ways you could do it. One is with cinder blocks, but those are going to be heavy. And then the other way to do it is with wood. And you typically want to go with untreated wood. You want to do something that hasn't been painted, something that hasn't been treated. I mean, from what I've heard, it used to be with the way that woods were treated in the past. They had a lot of chemicals in them that would leach into soil, and of course you're eating the plants that are eating from that soil or feeding in that, living in that, so you're probably taking in some of what some of those chemicals. The other thing I would say too is avoid railroad ties like the plague, because those are full of, yeah, building a bed out of railroad ties is a no-no, because those have materials that they're cancer causing. So
Well, man, I guess it's time for you to throw away those railroad ties you just bought at Home Depot this morning.
yeah.
I light them on fire. Will do.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll burn all summer long.
Yes.
Get your marshmallows out.
Well, Andrew, that's great advice, man. I appreciate you sharing your insight on all that. I wanted to get into what happened last year, though, with you in particular, just switching gears. When you were working in retail,
Yeah.
when COVID really became a thing here in the States. So correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew, but you were working at Sprouts the night that California announced the statewide lockdown. Is that correct?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I hadn't listened to the radio. I hadn't, obviously,
Smart man.
yeah, yeah. There's not really a TV, in the break room or anything. I was just going about my regular shift, and I noticed it got quiet. Earlier in the day was a little bit, okay, it was a little bit of hustle and bustle, but it wasn't that crazy. And then it got quiet for a while, and I go, wow, it's really died down today. Okay, well, I was on a closing shift, and I thought to myself, okay, well, if it's just going to go like this the rest of the night, well, all right, it's going to be an easy close. And then, sure enough, I just noticed, this is interesting. Around 6 or 7 o'clock, wow, there's a lot of people coming in. Wow, there's even more people coming in.
Isn't
oh
it
my
Black
God.
Friday?
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's March. And I'm like, is it, or was it, anyway, I can't remember if it was February or March, but I do remember I'm like, I know it's not November. So no, it's not Black Friday. Um, the, yeah, it was just crazy because, so many people came in at one point and you just have like 15 or 20 people standing in one spot. And what ended up happening is, you have like 15, 20 people at a register. And then they ended up it built up so much that the line got all the way, like almost to the back, just pretty much into the back half of the store. Like somebody could have
I
been
believe
standing.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. And, by the end of the night, we noticed, okay, well, all of our onions and potatoes were just completely cleared out, especially the russets. The russets were like, those were the gone. Like you could just see all that was there was, you have the stand and then you have, the paper that we covered the stand with. I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, people just buying left and right. And we're like trying to keep up with it. And it was just two of us and the produce staff. And then at one point, I remember,
gosh.
yeah. And then I remember at one point, I'm like, okay, we're not going to catch up here. So I'm going to do the best that I can and go with that. And then eventually, the music over the intercom stops. And, when you've been working in retail long enough and you recognize, for a page, you kind of pay attention to that. And I kind of just hear this chatter going off in the background. And I'm like, oh my God, that's my shift lead right now. He's like totally panicking and we can hear it on the, on the intercom. And I'm like,
Oh,
I'm saying it out loud. I'm like, no, dude, no, no. And I'm like, wait, why am I saying this out loud? He can't hear me. He's all the way in the back there. So I,
now everybody's looking at you.
yeah, right. So I go in the back and I'm just like, first thing I grab the phone and I hang it up and I push the disconnect button and I'm like, dude, they could hear you panicking over the radio, over the intercom like that. And so he was frustrated. He grabs the phone. He's like, bang, bang, hangs it up like 3 different times. Like, now they can't hear me. I'm like, okay, all right, well, cool. Now we know. So
It's already been done.
yeah. So that was the first night. And then the next day I came in, I was on another, I think it was just a mid shift. And I got in probably 30 minutes before my shift started. And I was just kind of looking around the store and the produce department to be like, okay, what's going crazy right now? Because I knew it was going to be a crazy day. And eventually, I bump into my boss. He was checking stuff out, and he looks at me. He goes, "Are you clocked in yet?" I go, "No, I was supposed to clock in 15 minutes." He goes, "Okay, clock in now." I'm like, all right, I'm going. So I did that. He goes, "Okay, look, we're not doing this. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're just going to take stuff off the pallets. We're going to put them onto the carts, and we're just going to fill them." And anybody asks us, "Oh, can you find me this? Can you find me the radicchio? Do you have any of that in the back?" No, we're not doing that either. Like we don't have time for that right now. So there was that, and then the other highlight of that was that in that same day, I'm trying to set up our display of mangoes as I'm doing that. This older lady is like, as I'm doing that, she's like going through each one of them as I'm trying to display them. And my boss sees that. He's like, "Ma'am, could you please wait until he's done with the mangoes?" And, they started arguing about something. And it was
Oh, that
stressful.
sounds like retail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was stressful enough that, he ends up, she walks away and she says something. I forget what it was, but he was like, "What? Like, what did you just say?" And I'm just like, dude, whoa, I've never seen my boss this way. All right, okay.
You have to get in between them, like, hey, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it.
It was definitely exciting. It was definitely exciting.
Sounds like kind of a ticklish situation.
Yeah. And of course, there was a response from corporate. They were like, "Oh, okay, we're just going to send like 10 pallets of potatoes and onions." And they did. And these pallets just stacked high with onions and potatoes stayed there for Well, I know that they had to cover them with tarps and stuff at one point, so they were. It was definitely an overload, but we had plenty to stock with.
Yeah,
Wow.
Matt,
Yeah.
remember, was it the day after they announced the lockout when you and I went down to the local Ralph's down in Escondido
Hmm.
and we were stuck in
Yeah.
the middle of that? Was it the day after the lockdown? I can't remember.
I remember it, but just as Andrew just explained at Sprouts, like same thing here. The lines were to the back of the store, and we were right in the middle of it all. And I think I forget because we were doing our shopping together, and we forgot something that was important that we needed to get. So you were just like, Matt, go over there and get that thing. I'll stay right here. And you like shouted out super loud, saying, like, just do it. So I had to like sprint across the entire store, got that thing, and thankfully by the time I got back, you were finally about to check out. But that entire that week in particular was so chaotic for retail, and I'm glad I was not working there.
Yeah, I just remember my wife calls me. I was sitting right here actually. I think I was doing homework. It's like middle of the day, and my wife just calls me and says, "Okay, you and Matt need to get in your car, drive down to Ralph's, and just get your hands on anything: canned goods, boxes of food, bread, water, anything. Just grab as much as you can, and then get back home." I was like, "All right, Matt, we're going." And we pull up into the parking lot, Andrew, and I don't know if you've been to the Ralph's in Escondido, but there's like a CVS next to it. There's a KFC off to the side. There's a bunch of little, businesses around, and the whole parking lot was just filled. Never seen anything like it. We had to park like by the KFC, which is like a half a mile away from the Ralph's. Not really, but it's pretty far. And we're like, well, if we get out of this alive, I'll be thanking the man above because this looks like an absolute nightmare. And it was. I mean, there were like no carts available. People were just hysterical, running around, bumping into you. The shelves were getting cleared out. It was just insane, man. I'm surprised, honestly, that we were able to get as much as we did, man. I mean, I think we bought like $300 worth of stuff. It was like going to Costco.
Yeah, on a weekend, right? On a weekend.
Yeah, and then like Matt said, we were lined up like all the way back towards the meat department, I think, which is at the very back of the store. So it was just insane. But there was a very nice lady, Matt, you may remember, that helped us, I think, through self checkout. She just randomly grabbed us for whatever reason because we were one of the millions of people, and she's like, "Here, let me help you." And she rang us up like that. I've never seen anything like it. That's customer service right there.
Yo, yeah.
All right, I just got a notification that this meeting will end in 10 minutes. Darn.
Oh, all right.
What a shame. What a pity. Well, Andrew, I also wanted to ask you because recently you went on a little trip, didn't you? A little hiking trip. I want you to tell everyone about that.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
We went to Utah. We stayed in the I want to say the southwestern part of the state. We had an Airbnb in a place called Laverkin, and we pretty much we went through Zion for a couple of days there, and then we went through another area called the Kolob. I know it was like Kolob Canyon and the Kolob Mesas and stuff, and we went in our friend Eric's truck, and we were able, especially at the Kolob part, we were able to do some off-roading and check out what was on those mesas and what they overlooked, and that was really awesome. And then the first couple of days the first day, I can't really remember exactly, but we did the main hikes in the park on like one day. We did this one called Angel's Landing where it's a 900-foot elevation thing, so you've got a nice climb up, and then the thing in total is 1,400 feet up. But then you get to this point called Scouts Lookout on Angel's Landing, and that's where you get to the final stretch, which is a more treacherous part. They put railings in and stuff, so people can hold on to that. But from because I didn't go on that last stretch of it, but a lot of people like to do that because it's a bucket and thrill list thing on there. And you can kind of think of the amount of traffic on that last part of Angel's Landing, kind of like what it was like when the lockdown hit. You've got so many people wanting to go up and down at the same time at one part of it, that what would normally take somebody 30 minutes to go one way, I think it takes like I think it took like 2 hours to go to
Oh
one.
wow.
Yeah.
Sounds
So,
like driving on the 5 freeway
yes, exactly.
Jeez.
in any direction. Well, you'll have to send me
Oh.
some pictures of that trip, Andrew, so I can upload that when I'm editing, so everybody can see what you were doing.
Sounds good.
So I know I
Sounds good.
saw it on Instagram, man. It looked gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Definitely was. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, before we let you go, we got to ask you,
What's that?
can you give us your passion fruit ice cream recipe?
I was looking at it. I didn't print it out, but yes, I can at least give you the basic items that you need.
If it's a family secret, then I totally get it.
No, it's not. What I can do is
If it's in a vault somewhere and you forgot the combination of the lock, I get it. It's all good.
Oh, actually, yes, that's what it is. It's all I needed was 2 digits. I forgot both of the digits. It was, yeah, I couldn't remember what the 2 digits were. That's what happened. What you need is, and it may depend on the type of ice cream maker that you use, because I was using a more old-fashioned one, but you basically need milk, half and half, heavy whipping cream, sugar, salt, passion fruit puree, which you can get either jarred from like a specialty grocer, or you could just buy the fruit, and you could scoop all the puree, the juice out yourself.
Matt, I hope you're taking notes over there.
Yeah. What I can do too is I can send you guys. I don't know if there's a way, like maybe on Instagram or something. There's a website you can go to where I used their strawberry recipe, and I just substituted the strawberry puree out with passion fruit. Yeah. So it's also for a more old-fashioned ice cream maker. But yeah, those are the ingredients, and then trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, sugar, salt, puree. Yeah, you need heavy whipping cream. You need half and half neat milk. Oh yeah, you never want to forget the vanilla either. And you can kind of break out the proportions. You can adjust the recipe proportions. If you want 2 quarts of ice cream, 4 quarts of ice cream, or 6 quarts, you can adjust it from there. And then trying to think, the steps are, you want to scald the milk, let it boil up. And then once that's done, you put in the sugar, you put in the salt, you put in the puree, and then you do the whipping cream and the half and half, you mix it all up. And then you let that chill for 30 minutes in the fridge. And then you take it over to your ice cream maker. And for this one, it uses rock salt and a big old 20-pound bag of ice. So
wow, 20 pounds.
Yeah. So you just kind of
bicep curls.
What's that?
You do some bicep curls with that.
Oh, dude, yeah, you can totally work out with it while you're waiting for the puree to chill.
This is not your child's ice cream. This is a man's ice cream.
Yeah. Yep. You grow a mustache.
I'm pretty sure I've had your ice cream, your passion fruit ice cream, at least once. And I got to tell the folks at home, it is to die for.
I got to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. How much time do we have left? How much time do we have left? Because I was going to ask Andrew something real quick.
We got 3.5 minutes. Shoot.
Okay. So, Andrew, remember in all of our hangouts over the years, you always were very good at impersonating people. And one in particular, I'll give you 2 options to give the viewers at home. Either do a Mrs. Doubtfire impersonation or Darth Sidious. One of those 2. The floor is yours.
I think I'm going to go for Darth Sidious.
I thought you were going to ask him to do Kermit the Frog. He does that one pretty well, too.
Or Kermit the Frog.
Oh, well, that one's actually pretty easy. It's kind of like this. You kind of throw your voice a little bit, and you're kind of going from, from the base of the throat there, and you go from there, and you just cross your fingers and hope everything works out. Yeah,
Oh, Kermit.
oh, Piggy, I've missed you.
Oh, very well done.
Yeah.
Sorry for putting you on the spot there. Good question, man.
Yeah.
All right,
definitely.
Andrew. Hey, this was a lot of fun, man. We really appreciate you joining us. Just to show our appreciation for your time and commitment tonight, we want to give you a $5 gift card to Camping Supplies located in Vista, California. Kirk
All
Harvey
right.
is hooking us up.
Kirk Harvey.
All right. I'll make sure. I'll tell him you guys say hello when I go there.
Oh, please do. I do miss that hard-boiled egg.
Yes. Yes. Don't we all?
All right, man. Well, thanks again. Very insightful conversation. I'm sure our viewers will enjoy it. We'll have to have you on again sometime.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
All right. Take care.
Thank you, Andrew.
You too. Later.
Good man.
I got to cut him off there a little bit. But yes, thank you to Andrew Abraham for joining us. That was a lot of fun. Very insightful conversation tonight, Matt. I feel like we learned an awful lot.
Yeah, we learned about gardening and how chaotic it was when COVID first hit.
And where he was hiking, his passion fruit ice cream.
His Kermit the Frog impersonation.
Very entertaining. Very entertaining. All right, man. Well, we got a minute left, so I guess it's time to say goodbye.
Goodbye. Farewell. We will be back next Thursday. Please subscribe. We need you today.
What will we be talking about next week? I have no idea. Maybe another guest. Your guess is as good as mine. Put in your body now and ask questions later.
Yeah. You start taking bets at home. What we'll be talking about next week.
All right, folks. Well, thank you again so much for tuning in. Again, subscribe, hit the like button, the thumbs up, and drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm Ryan Willis.
I'm Matt Willis.
Help me, Matado!